Hey everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and happy Thursday to each and every one of you. And we're only 1 week away from Thanksgiving and Brown Thursday / Black Friday. Obviously very excited about that. Not only because Thanksgiving's awesome, I love me some turkey. I am a turkey nut, a turkey connoisseur. I'm like the dad from A Christmas Story. I love turkey. Thanksgiving comes, people are loading up their plate with turkey and gravy and green beans and mashed potatoes and whatever, all the sides and fixings and whatnot. Me, screw all that. I just load my plate up with turkey. I don't want anything else. I'm not gonna ruin my meal with sides. I'm just gonna eat turkey. I love turkey. I will eat turkey. I will eat the whole damn turkey myself if you give it to me. I love it, and I'm very excited for that in 1 week. And then of course, as soon as I'm done eating, me and my cousin were actually headed out, and we're gonna go do some. See, Black Friday, we're most likely going to be done shopping by Black Friday, actually. We're going to go do some Brown Thursday shopping and hit up all the stores and get some awesome stuff. Of course, I will be videotaping that and shooting a cinema hunting video, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, let's get down to today's Daily Sickness video, and we have some reviews for you guys. Been checking out some great stuff recently, so let's see what I've watched. So first up here is Man on Wire, which is all about Philippe Petit, and he is a wire walker, and just his life and how he came to be a wire walker, and then all the stuff like leading up to his famous World Trade Tower walk across the World Trade Tower, which is from one tower to the other, which is nuts. They show him doing things like he tightrope, or I don't say tightrope. They don't call it tightrope. It's wire walking, because it's a really thick wire, like a metal cable he's walking across. Him going across the two towers of the Notre Dame, which is the cathedral, which is absolutely insane. Watch him do it, which is cool, and how he got away with setting that up, I will never know. That's what I question. Like, how does he get away with this stuff? So set that up, got away with that. Apparently the priests inside were like cool with it and thought it was amazing that he was doing that, which I thought was really neat, because they were like holding a mass inside as like this whole thing was going on, so it was pretty cool. There's like apparently some famous bridge in Sydney, Australia, which I'm not familiar with, but he went across that, which is cool. And then of course all that was leading up again to his famous walk across the World Trade Tower, the World Trade Center towers, which is just again nuts, because these other things he did very high up. The World Trade Tower, which is so high. Like, they were showing video of him from the ground, little tiny speck walking across, just insane how high up he was. And the fact that they got away with setting this up was insane as well, but they did it at a really good time. Like, obviously, had they waited, they would have been screwed, but they did it right as the towers were built. Like, they announced the towers were going to be built. Philippe was like, I got to walk across that. The towers were then eventually put up, looked complete from the outside, but the couple top floors were not finished. They looked finished from the outside, but inside they were unfinished. So they were able to get in there and get up on the roof and set this whole thing up by like shooting a bow and arrow across the towers to one another, and just insane the way they like rigged this whole wire up, and to watch him walk across that was just nuts. So very cool, very awesome, great documentary, and very awesome just to watch him do. There's plenty of footage of him walking across all the different places he walked across. So absolutely amazing. And are they doing a whole movie about this now? Like, either it is out, or it's coming out, right? There's a whole movie based around this famous walk across the towers, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken. So very awesome, really great documentary. I highly recommend checking this out. If you like documentaries, or you just want to see somebody do something really cool, because I mean, he's walking across it, turning around, walking back, lying down, sitting on the wire, like all kinds of stuff. Absolutely nuts, and it's so cool. I mean, look at that. Can you guys see that? Like, that is insane. Look how high up he is. He's walking across the towers. That is some balls right there. They should just name him Testicle Petite. He's got some mad balls. That is crazy, but awesome. Very cool. All right, then I checked out Les Claypool Fancy. Not much to say about this one. If you're a fan of Les Claypool, you're going to enjoy this. It's just from his summer tour of 2006, and bunch of different songs from that. A bunch of different footage of him and his band playing songs. It's awesome. If you like Les Claypool, you're gonna want to check this out. What more can I say about it than that? It was good. It's worth seeing. Les Claypool, awesome. Obviously one of the best bass players ever. It's good music. It's fantastic. Check it out. All right, that was quick. Then we have, because I love me some Bette Midler, I had to check out For the Boys. This is a great movie. All about Bette Midler, who plays this USO singer. She kind of like falls into it. She's a singer, and then falls into becoming a USO singer during World War II. and basically talks all about from like 50 years of her life, going through different wars and whatnot, all the way up to like Vietnam War, and how like things have changed so much, like how different World War II was than the Vietnam War, just the atmosphere and the way the soldiers were and everything, and how everything was completely different, and just all about her life. And of course she's reliving this. She's old. She's going to a reward show, and she doesn't want to go, and she's like telling the story and whatnot. And then of course she goes, and everything's great. But there's this crazy story and this amazing life this woman led, and just absolutely awesome. Definitely a great drama with, of course, some fantastic music sung by Bette Midler, and also a lot of comedy, a lot of funny moments in this. Bette Midler had me cracking up a lot in this. She was throwing out some pretty dirty jokes to some of the soldiers, which I loved. Bette Midler is like, she's kind of just like a no gruff, like take no shit kind of woman in this, and I love it. I love her attitude and just who she is in this story. She's a tough chick, and I love it. So this was a great movie. Definitely recommend it. I would say the budget on this was probably a little low. Some of the sets felt a little low budget. They were just shooting like over and over and over again, like the same shooting locations. And it just seemed a little bit low budget, but it was still done really well. It's definitely worth checking out. You know, it is what it is. It probably didn't have the huge budget behind it, but regardless, it was a great story. It doesn't matter if the budget's big or not. A great story is a great story, and this was a great story. Check it out for the boys. It was awesome. All right, then we all know, of course, the horrible tragedies that happened over in France and in Paris last Friday, and I thought, well, you know, there was some craziness going on. I hadn't watched the movie yet. I had heard about it happening, and then I was like, I gotta watch a movie. And I was like, what should I watch? And bell went off in my head. I was like, you know, there's a movie I've been wanting to see and I haven't watched yet, and that was Midnight in Paris. Thought it was only right to watch something France, Paris related, and great Woody Allen movie. This is all about Owen Wilson and his wife, and they're just visiting Paris, and of course Owen Wilson's in love with it, and constantly talking about how he wants to like live in like the 20s in Paris and whatnot. Is basically whole movie is basically about like kind of enjoy where you are right now in life. Like, don't fantasize about how things were, because you might be fantasizing about how things were in the 20s, but of course people in the 20s are fantasizing how things were like in like the 1890s, and you know, so on and so forth and whatnot. Everybody always fantasizes about decades past, and you know, people 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now are going to think about how great, you know, right now must have been. Because, you know, it's just times change and everybody wants to be living in the past, because the past seems so great, but it wasn't necessarily better. It wasn't necessarily great. So what they're trying to say, they're trying basically live your life now and enjoy the time you're in now. So he actually ends up being able to go back in time, back into the 20s in Paris, which is really cool. He basically he's out walking one night, and this cab drives up and like, come on and get in. He's like, what? No, I don't know who you are. And they talk him. He's like, okay, I'll get in. And then they drive off, and now he's in the 20s. Every time he goes in this cab, he drives off into the 20s, and Paris changes. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty awesome. They even go back further than that, because this girl he falls in love with, like from the 20s, she of course is fantasizing about, I think it was the 1890s. They end up going back to the 1890s at one point. They end up going back to like the Moulin Rouge and whatnot, which is pretty interesting. So very cool movie, definitely worth checking out. It sounds kind of weird, but it works really well. It felt different than like most Woody Allen movies I've seen, you know, because of the whole, you know, time traveling thing, but it works. It's not done in a cheesy way or a goofy way. It's done in just kind of a very simple, we're not going to explain too much. He gets into a cab, he goes to the past. That's it. We don't need to get too much into it. Who cares about how it's done? This is what it is, and this is how the story works. And it does work out. And of course, I love the ending where he realizes, you know, that him and his wife aren't compatible, because through the whole movie you're like, why is he marrying this bitch? Like, they are not compatible. They are two completely different people. They should not be together. And you're kind of, for me anyway, I was rooting for the whole movie, like, break up. And they do. And I was like, yes, thank God they didn't go through with the marriage. So, great movie. Definitely highly recommend this. If you're a fan of Woody Allen movies, this is worth checking out. Absolutely fantastic. And Paris looks amazing in this movie. I got to go to Paris sometime. If you guys, I'm sure some of you out there have been to Paris. Either you're from France or from Paris, or you've just been there. Is it really as amazing and as pretty as it looks in every single movie I've ever seen? Every movie I've ever seen, Paris looks fantastic. Even movies I've seen where like it's like a rough and tough like action or like gangster or something bad's happening, a horror movie in like Paris still looks amazing. Like, it looks really pretty. if it's that amazing, I gotta go sometime. I gotta check it out. So you guys let me know. Is Paris really that nice? Like, is it, because I know, like, you watch other movies like, and like from London and stuff like the UK, and it looks very pretty. But I know I see other movies where like there's definitely not so nice places of like the UK and whatnot. Is it like that, or is it just like pretty everywhere and beautiful and you have to see it? If it is, let me know. I gotta see it. So awesome movie. Check that one out. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna show you the last thing I watched, because I want to talk about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies here. I want to talk about them all together and see them to last. So last thing I checked out was Adjust Your Tracking, the untold story of the VHS collector, which I have already seen. This is my third, fourth time now watching this. It's a great documentary. Only problems with it is, one, it just feels incomplete. I just felt like there should have been more to it. I don't know. I kind of feel that, I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at it as a person who just loves documentaries and wants to see like everything absolutely complete. And I want to know every little last detailed information. I'm probably also looking at it in the fact that I'm a collector of cinematic media, not just VHS. And a lot of things they talk about in here, I'm like, well, what about this? And what about this format? What about that format? Well, do you ever think about like how this title might not be on DVD, but it was on VHS and Laserdisc? It's and stuff like that. When they talk about like, oh, I hate DVDs. If you drop it once and it scratches, you can't ever watch it again. These VHS tapes are built like a tank, and they show like people dropping them and stuff like that. Like, do you know how many times I've broken a VHS tape? Tons. I've had to perform surgery on VHS tapes so many times. You drop one of those, it hits the corner, it's gonna break. I'm sorry, they're not built like tanks. They might be more resistant to damage than a DVD, but they're gonna break if you drop them. And if your VCR goes bad, your tape's gonna get eaten. Like, so they're not perfect. Anyway, there's all kinds of stuff like that. So I like the documentary. It's great if you're a fan of VHS and collecting and whatnot. It's a cool documentary. Definitely worth checking out. Tons of bonus features. Very cool. Another problem I have with it, I've mentioned this before, is the fact that I get what they're doing. It looks like a VHS transfer. They put like a filter on it to make it look like you're watching a VHS. I'm not so cool with that. There was a VHS release of this, so I'm not mistaken. I believe I'm actually listening to the people talking in this movie. I'm surprised they even released this on anything but VHS. They seem to be like, it's VHS, screw everything else. But I believe there was a VHS tape release of this, if I'm not mistaken. So if I want to watch VHS quality, I will buy that VHS tape and watch that. That's cool. If I'm watching a VHS tape, I expect, and I'm okay with VHS quality. That's what it is. But I don't know, when I'm watching a DVD, I don't really want VHS quality. I want DVD quality on a DVD. Does that make sense? It just, I was kind of bummed about that. I don't know why I know why they did it. I just don't like why they did it. It doesn't make any sense. Leave the VHS quality for the VHS, but make DVD quality for the DVD. That's my thing. So anyway, still great documentary. I would recommend it. A lot of people ask me, do I like this or was it Rewind This? Which one I like better? I do like Rewind This better, I would have to say. I think it's a better done documentary. It feels a bit more complete than this one. But I still think they both have their problems. They're both not perfect. But Rewind This, I think, is a little bit better, in my opinion. It is my favorite out of the two. So, yeah. And another problem I have is the fact that it's just about VHS collecting. You go to places like Blu-ray.com, and everybody's like, I collect Blu-rays, screw everything else, I will never buy a DVD again, I'm only going to buy a Blu-ray. You got people like this who are like, it's VHS only, I only collect VHS tapes, man. I mean, that's cool, that's your thing, but I want a documentary about people like me. I want to see people who collect everything. I want to know about the nerd who has, Laserdisc, CEDs, Beta, VHS, DVDs, Blu-rays, HDVDs, I have so many weird and obscure formats that people are like, what the hell is that thing? I love that kind of stuff, and I want a documentary about that. I want somebody to hold up, a Juiceware media clip and be like, look at this thing. I want to see people talk about that. So hopefully someday we'll get a cool documentary about that, but I don't think it is. I don't think there are a lot of people out there who are like me and go nuts with collecting different formats. I mean, some people are like, some people have like more like the major formats. I mean, I know a lot of people who have like, they'll have Blu-rays, HDVDs, DVDs, VHS, maybe Beta, Laserdisc, like some of the more popular formats that were around, but they don't get too hardcore into collecting like some of the really weird stuff like, like HD-VMD and stuff like that. Like, they're not going to hunt one of those down necessarily. But I don't know. I want to see a documentary like that. Maybe someday. Who knows? Maybe I should shoot it. I don't know anything about shooting documentaries. Maybe I can find somebody who does. We could shoot it together. That'd be cool. We'll see. All right. Anyway, let's get on to the last title here I want to talk about. Like I said, I wanted to save these to last. And I checked out the Terminator series, all 5 movies, because it's been a while since I watched the first 3 Terminator movies like back to back. I've done like once or twice before. I've certainly seen the movies multiple times, but I think I've only once maybe before watched them all back to back. So I wanted to do that, and I also wanted to rewatch Terminator Salvation because I'd seen that like once before. And I just recently got a copy of Terminator Genisys, a ultraviolet copy that one of you guys sent me. So I was really looking forward to watching it. That's kind of why I wanted to watch all these, because I really wanted to see Terminator Genisys. But I was like, I gotta get myself caught back up before I do that. I'm not just gonna jump right back into it and not be caught up. And I'm glad I did. So obviously, first up is Terminator. Absolutely fantastic movie. I love this one. It's gritty. It's 80s. It's dark. It's fun. Obviously, Schwarzenegger here, for those of you who do not know, is not the good guy in this movie. Not like he becomes in the rest of the movies. He's the bad guy. He's going into a police station, shooting, killing every cop dead. He's a Terminator. He's out to kill. That is what he does. He's out to destroy. And I love it. He plays an awesome. I love that "I'll be back" line, because he looks around, says "I'll be back," goes out, and then he smashes the car through the front of the building. He's back. I love it. I also the fact that they added that in like every movie. They've added that line somehow, and I love it. So this is obviously a fantastic movie. It's great. If you're a fan of 80s films, you have to check this out. It's Schwarzenegger at his best. This is just an amazing film all around. I know a lot of people feel that the better film is actually T2. A lot of people feel this is the best film in the series, and I can see how people feel that way. The quality of the picture and the special effects are a bit better. They definitely had a bigger budget on this one. The story's told very well. It's definitely a great movie. In my opinion, I like both of these sort of equally for different reasons. I kind of like the gritty, just the gritty, fun 80s badassness of this movie. This one I like for the fact that it's done just a little bit better. And it's a really great story. It's told very well. Special effects are very cool. It is definitely a fantastic story, and I highly recommend both of these. They're by far both the best in the series, and I would say, in my opinion, they're actually equal. A lot of people think this one's better. I'm going to say they're equal. They're of equal greatness. Love it, love it, love it. And this one, of course, Terminator, Schwarzenegger. He's a good guy in this one now. I love it. I love how he just comes back as a good guy. Now he's like, that's it. He's the good guy now. So great. And then, of course, you have Terminator 3, Rise of Machines. A lot of people hate this movie. I remember this movie came out. A lot of people just were panning the hell out of it. I think it's fun. It's not nearly as good as these two. No, definitely not. But it's fun. It's got some cheesy one-liners. It's a popcorn movie. That's the best way. It feels like a Roland Emmerich movie or something. Like watch it. No, I was gonna say I don't think it's actually directed by him, but no, I'm like it feels like a Roland Emmerich movie. It's just fun. It's popcorn. It's cheesy, but it is a lot of fun. Schwarzenegger is fantastic in it. I actually really like Terminator 3. It's ridiculous, but it is a fun movie, and I recommend it. I think it's fun. That's all I gotta say. It's fun. It doesn't have to be the best story. It just has to be fun, and this one's fun. Schwarzenegger's great in it. All right, then we have Terminator Salvation. Only my second time checking this movie out. I did see it, thought it was okay, then hadn't watched it again. Definitely, a little bit different now. Schwarzenegger's not in this one. I mean, I think they did get the rights to use his likeness. So there's a scene where there's a Terminator attacking, and it's not actually Schwarzenegger, but it's like CGI to look like Schwarzenegger Terminator, and that's pretty interesting. But it's interesting. John Carter, John Connor, played by Christian Bale, and that's kind of my problem with it. Is Christian Bale. I've seen him do great jobs in movies. I've seen him do bad jobs in movies. And in this one, he's not so hot in it. He just hams it up. I felt like I was watching a Christmas movie due to all the ham that Christian Bale was dishing out of the TV. It was ridiculous. He does ham it up like crazy. But it's kind of enjoyable. I still like it. It's all about kind of how the new Terminators with the skeleton with the skin over top of them, how they kind of like came to be created. They were created from like people. They would take people, I guess, basically like put their skin in their heart and like whatnot, like in I guess brain and whatnot inside these Terminators, and kind of like an early version of kind of the Terminator, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator, kind of like an early version of that. And it's interesting to see this Terminator not know he's a Terminator. He ends up finding out that he is. He doesn't realize he's a machine. but he's not bad. He's helping out the resistance and whatnot, and it's just interesting take on a machine not knowing he's a machine and what he does when he finds out that he is. So it's a good movie for what it is. I don't think it's amazing. It's just okay. It's missing Schwarzenegger. It's a Terminator movie. I want Schwarzenegger when I have Terminator. So it's good. It's worth checking out. It's a fun movie. I remember when this came out, everybody was talking about how great it was, and I thought it was pretty good. It just wasn't perfect, but it was a good movie. And then last was Terminator Genisys, which I loved. Thought it was great. Schwarzenegger, of course, is back. One thing I love about these movies is the fact that you can just go anywhere and do anything, because every time it's all about time travel. So every single movie changes history. So every movie can be different. New things can happen. Different stuff can happen. New characters can come in. New Terminators can come in. All new stuff can come into play because the last movie changed everything. So in the next movie, Judgment Day's still coming, but it's changed up somehow, and I love that. And I would love to see a sixth Terminator movie, with something else happening, as long as Schwarzenegger's back. Because Schwarzenegger, I love the end of this one. He actually gets a bit of an upgrade, and I think that's really cool. And I almost would I would like to see a sixth movie with him. I don't know how they would do it, but with him with the with the new upgrades and whatnot, that'd be awesome. I like how they explain how he's aging in this one, because I was really curious how are they gonna pull that one off? He looks so much older now. They basically say, well, it's human skin over the metal frame, the metal robot, and the skin ages. And it's like, that's kind of smart. I can live with that. So, interesting story. I love how much they link it back to the first movie. Do not watch Genisys without at least, I recommend watching all of them, but at the very least, see this one. Because they link it back to the first movie so much. They redo scenes and whatnot, and they reuse some scenes. It was pretty awesome. And I love when they redo a scene. I'm like, oh, they're redoing the scene, and then boom, like the original Schwarzenegger comes walking back in. I'm like, it's awesome. It's just so awesome. I really did enjoy the movie. It's not perfect. It's not the greatest movie I've ever seen. It's not my favorite out of all the Terminator movies, but I thought it was really well done. I love how much they link it back to the first one. I love the story. It was very unique, very interesting. Definitely one worth checking out. I'd probably say, for me, it's 1, 2, and 5 are like the best trilogy out there. In my opinion. So just absolutely fantastic. And I love constant changing up of the stories and the fact that the timeline's always changing. So everything can always change up and it doesn't have to stay the same. And, everything kind of has to work sort of together. But if something wants to change, you can say, well, when you went back in the last movie or 2 movies or whatever, when you changed this, that changed this. And it makes sense. I love it. So the Terminator series is great. If you haven't seen it, obviously, why not? Check it out. All 5 movies are definitely all worth seeing. And here's hoping for a 6th one. I would love to see another Terminator movie, as long as Schwarzenegger's in it. If they're going to do another movie without Schwarzenegger, don't bother. Just leave the franchise where it is then. I don't want another Salvation. Again, I like Salvation. It was good. I'm not saying this is a bad movie. It is a good movie. It is enjoyable. But for me, Terminator is Schwarzenegger. So if they're not going to bring Schwarzenegger back for a 6th movie, please don't do it. Just end the franchise. Be done with it. But if you are going to bring him back, do it. That'd be awesome. So, all right, guys, there you go. That is everything I recently checked out. So, all right. So, like I said, like I always say, guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, if you are not already subscribed, please do. I do a brand new daily sickness video every single day. So, you want to see a new video from me every day, hit that subscribe button. And also, if you're not already watching this video over at cinemasickness.com, if you're watching us on YouTube, then down below there is a link. Down in the description, there's a link to cinemasickness.com. Click on it, head over there, check it out. There's a lot more to see than just these videos. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great Thursday. I'll see you all tomorrow on Friday. See you then, guys. Bye.